Yo, what's good, people? How you doing? Hope you're all well. For my fellow American friends, congratulations on getting the day started peacefully. Maybe we'll call it a bit of a fresh start, huh? So today we will be taking a look at RC20 from XLN. It's been out for a hot minute, like going on maybe 5 years now or something, right? 4 years maybe, somewhere in there, I want to say. I feel like I've been seeing it, hearing it on everything for quite some time. So we're actually going to revisit this. And me being me, we'll throw some weird stuff at it. See how it holds up. Come up with some fresh ideas for y'all for 2020. I'm sure it won't be difficult. Feedback again. If you want feedback on tracks or sounds, just drop links in the chat and we will attend to them soon. You want to submit sounds? Have sounds uploaded to the community drive where everyone shares sounds freely to use in projects, or you want me to use your sounds in this live stream, email them to holler@ohmlab.tv, or if it's just something you want me to grab, something you found on freesound.org or something, just drop a link. Aftershock, hello. Yes, it looks like you were first today. Staff, hello. How are you, man? I fired back some copy to you this morning. Sorry it took me a little time. It's been a very busy week. Yeah, Tibet does look nice, huh? I would use that sample pack. Coinmonger, hello. How are you? Well, Aftershock, when you drop a link. We'll check it out. If you want ears on it, but not so publicly, you can set it on through to holler@ohmlab.tv. Just tell me in the email that you want it to be private feedback, and we'll make it happen. But otherwise, just drop a link in the public chat, and we will skewer you. No, I'm just kidding. We'll give you constructive feedback. I'm coming to know this about you. So today is the day that I either dive in deeper and make some weird, funky, cool hybrid soundscapes for the upcoming library, or Trance in Your Pants. How are you, Ricky? Happy New Year. I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute. It's been a little while. How are you? We've missed you. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so today is going to be either, after we do this review stuff, it's either going to be me diving in deeper into some kind of, I'm thinking, lush nature mixed with very subtle and somewhat glitchy sci-fi elements, just like thinly layered in there. Because I'd like to include a category of stuff like that. Mostly just as kind of like a teaser for another big concept library that'll drop later in the year. It's going to be freaking dope. Anyway, trying to decide between that and going back into some of the stuff that we've set up over the past like 5-6 streams and start knocking out masters of those. So you guys let me know what you'd rather watch today after we talk through today's plugin. It'll help me make up my mind. Oh, man. Up here from the 17th through the 22nd. Awesome. What are you doing up here? Making music? Just visiting friends and family? Well, I'm glad you're good, Ricky. Good to see you, man. Nothing wrong with lurking. Dialogue mixing, but later? Okay. Saf, we got a session today, right? We can always toss it into that. Oh, awesome. Photo shoot and calendar. Cool. So I've been thinking about RC20 a little bit more lately, simply because I've been seeing it more lately. People have been kind of making a return to it. And the very kind people over at XLN sent me RC20 the other day and XO, which I still have not checked out. So we're going to be doing that together probably next week. But today we're going to be taking a look at RC20, and I'm thinking kind of updated applications for it, right? With the intention of making this a bit of a staple plugin for the next short while, and each time we revisit it, we knock out a couple more presets. And we'll end up with a nice little preset pack for all of you to lock into your RC20s at home. So I know a lot of people have the RC20. Those who do not will be happy to know that not only is it awesome, but they put it up on discount quite often. They do sell through various resellers, you know, like Plugin Boutique or whatever, so you can oftentimes find it bundled with other things. It's kind of a mainstay staple for anyone producing lo-fi or you know, atmospheric, texture rich, detuned kind of music. So there are also plenty of sound design applications for this, not just, you know, larger context music processing. So maybe we'll get into a bit of that today, but we certainly will get into more and more over the next couple of weeks as we build up that preset pack. So Phos4, welcome and enjoy the lurk. And Will, hey buddy, how you doing, man? I would like to say that Zev and I have been keeping up on this new collab, and I think I can freely speak for us both by saying you all should be finding someone to make some music with this year. Get 2021 started off right. It's been fun. Paul, welcome. Sunny Maryland and sunny Portland. There are just these little whispers of cloud up there. There's a couple of little streaks, but then there's like these very, very thin, massive blobs. It's actually pretty cool looking. Gorgeous. Nice, Paul. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think 2021 is going to be the return of the guitar pedal and more collaboration. Those are my predictions. That's all I really want to think about as far as predictions. All right, so what should we use? I'm thinking that we start off with just some super basic stuff, maybe a couple loops from Logic, just to get warmed up, and then we'll start making some funky stuff with it. And we'll run with it for, we'll go at least an hour probably with it, and then we'll jump into some brand new stuff. Let's play roulette. Let's just spin, spin, spin. See where we go. What is this? Altered Machinery FX2. I don't know what this will do with RC20. Let's find out. Let's just put this on the out. So for those who are not yet familiar with RC20, if this is the first time actually like really tuning into it. It is a 6-module multi-effect signal flow left to right with the option of switching noise to a post process instead of having it at the front of your chain. Noise, wobble, which combines both wow and flutter, so slow modulation pitted against fast modulation, with an option to go from mono into stereo, so you get a super wide image, and it gives one channel each, I believe, one to wow, one to flutter. So you get some really cool psychoacoustic stuff. The distort module, like the noise module, has several different modes that you can work in. We'll flip through those. Digital is basically a bit crusher, and it pits rate against bits up top. Both the distortion, the digital, and the space modules all give you an EQ filter, so you can kind of either focus or cut, in the bit crusher's case, a band. Space is it's not just a reverb, it's a reverb and a resonator combined, so it gives you a very unique thing. And as I was bringing up the hybrid soundscapes, the super lush nature mixed with a thin layer of like glitchy sci-fi stuff, this is the type of space that'll be perfect for that kind of thing. Mixing the resonator and reverb in such a way that it's just magic. So, and then there's the magnetic, which is the tape module, and it pits wear against flutter. So in other words, the number of times something has been played and the pin slipping. So, and you've got a mono option there as well. And then across the board, you've got this flux parameter, and they do not disclose exactly what is happening from module to module, but there is some awesome random little bits. Some of them are amplitude modulation and some of them are pitch modulation, and you just kind of have to play through. One of them sounds kind of like there's a filter in play. Yeah, you just kind of have to play through and listen across a broad range of sounds to really start to get a feel for that. And then it's just got a little master chain down here, EQ, filter, tone control, width and gain, and that's it. So we will run through each of these individually and as a team. Oh, and magnitude is wet dry basically, and it brings everything up and down in tandem instead of just wet dry, which is why they call it magnitude. So you can see the depth of each parameter setting down here on the knobs moving up and down as I do this. So this is a dynamic adjustment. It's not just a wet dry out. Oh man, Aftershock. Yeah, pull the Digitech out. Absolutely. Yeah, Paul. Hey, I'm glad that you pulled out the vinyl carving station, right? Isn't that what it's called? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Saffron. You have 30 guitar pedals, but it's because of your obsession with My Bloody Valentine. That's great. Oh man, that's quite the swing, Zev. You're going from snowy to 50. Jeez. Oh, Phosphor, I will. And Paul. Paul and Phosphor, please. You can drop your stuff in chat anytime. Drop links. Saf, it's freezing cold and I'm working too hard. You old man. That is funny. Let's go check and see if this is on sale. I'm not sure, Saf, but we will find out together. If you guys are not familiar with XLN, They're awesome. They make really good stuff. But they've got addictive drums and addictive keys are kind of their super big ones. RC20 has been a really big player for them. I have not checked out the drum shaper yet, but I'm sure we will eventually. EXO is another one that we're going to check out together, but I don't see anything about a sale here. You can always check Plugin Boutique too, and see what they're doing with it. There we go. Everybody go visit Phosphorus channel and give him a follow. And listen to some stuff. And Paul goes by Uncle Chrome on YouTube. Definitely check him out there. And Paul, have you been doing more here too? Let's go initialized on this. And we'll just go 1 unit at a time. First noise. I kind of wish this had an envelope on it. Just to make something that was either not omnipresent or tethered directly to the audio. I mean, this has always been pretty darn good, but it'd be cool to kind of play around with that a bit. Let's check out our wobble. Check out our distortion. So this has got a bunch of different profiles, I guess. It's not even Monday. I forget to turn it on. So there's some pretty interesting, oh, and air pressure. But there's some pretty interesting ones for the sound design side of things. Digital is the bit crusher. Nice. So this space module is really great for sound design. All right, let's fire all of these back up and see what this thing sounds like. Let's do another spin. That sounds pretty great. That sounds pretty great on a banjo. Let's get rid of that digital. Oh man. That sounds great on a banjo, actually. Yeah, it really is good, Saf. Absolutely. I really enjoy it on the sound design side of things, that I forget just how good it is on like such a wide range of instruments and stuff. Ooh. Oh man, that sounds great. Write a track just clicking through the loops. This thing is also quite fun if you just like grab a random beat. Sure, we'll just do this one. Doesn't have to be anything specific, really. But you set this, let's just turn off everything except for maybe the noise and the space, and set this thing up with the duck pretty high. And then just really push it. Let's give it something we can actually hear. bring this up. Yeah, I'd love to be able to move these around with signal flow, like just alter the signal flow. And I would also love to have a way to control each one of these with a small envelope too, just to offset the delivery of the effects, huh? It is fun. Eric, how you doing? My schedule didn't show anything up for today. Really? I heard someone yesterday saying that their schedule on Twitch disappeared. I wonder if that happened to me. Oh, let's see here. Channel. Do, 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 do. I think it says I'm here. Star Trek in a way. Figured out how to pass MIDI CC from VCV to Kontakt, in particular the R&R plugs. Was able to sequence through banks to the vinyl cutter to variation. Hey, awesome. Fantastic. I like the random button. Cool. Well, mystery solved. That's going to open up a lot of different possibilities for you. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome. All right, so let's play with this thing as a more of just like a sound design tool specifically. Let's make something super basic, shall we? Let's just can start making stuff sound pretty good and ignore the rest of the stuff in your synth while you're playing with this thing. And you can actually get really decent analog colored sounds out of something really digital without much effort. And of course, if you're making something weird and freaky, then it's going to be great as well. Some effects with it. It's also really good for if you've got some nice little vinyl. Let's grab some vinyl really quick. Let's just take this glitchy one. All right, and now run all of that through a massive reverb, and you've got yourself one really nice atmosphere, ambience. Sounds like a rainstorm. Nice for the textures. All right, I think I'm going to start making some new stuff for this upcoming library. And I'll process some of it with the RC20. We definitely don't need these in here anymore. Just mute those for now. And let's do a, let's maybe just do an instance of kontakt. You know, we can't. I think that is one of my gripes, if I remember correctly. There's only a couple of gripes that I have with this, one of which is I can't move the modules. The other is that I would like to have some kind of envelope control on the modules. It wouldn't have to be anything fancy. It could even be just like attack and decay or something if it really had to be. Just to bring more separation to the individual effects, offset timing, that type of thing. But yeah, no, there's no reordering. The only reorder option you have is the routing, moving from series to post in the noise module, which heads it all up. So I hope that it's been successful enough for them that they issue an update that's a bit more. I mean, because it has 6 modules in it, and with today's expectations, they're things are just different now than, I mean, they made this, what, like 5 years ago or something? Anyway, people expect to be able to move things around a bit more now, I think, so. Yeah, I think it definitely needs the envelopes too. But the sound that it's getting is great, and you can, you know, you can modulate the parameters, right? You can automate the parameters. So there are workarounds. It's just a matter of having to do it, is all. All right, so let's dig deep. Let's see here. Oh, I should plug in this drive. All right, let's see about some field recordings here. How's about I want lush. That would certainly do it. think it's this one that we're going to do. I'll just make a little chop of this really quick. What's going on here, Logic? Okay, we can work with this. We'll mess that up here in a little bit. Maybe what we'll do is just, to keep things simple, we'll just grab like 4 bars here. Actually, okay, so now we've got it in a wave here that we can load up into our kontakt. Save this so we don't run into funkiness. And we'll call this RC20 and soundscapes. All right, so in here, we'll add this bad boy here. Oops. What? Why? Why would it save as a package? There we go. All right, so we're going to take our bounce in place file and we'll drop it in here. Yeah, there we go. All right, now let's mix that with yeah, Paul, it feels like RC20 is definitely making kind of a resurgence. And I'm hoping that people find more creative things to do with it than just kind of, you know, lo-fi the keys. Because I think it's a really nice balance of you know, creativity on the developer's part, and and complexity, right, with the flux parameter on each one, and you know, using all of these in tandem at the same time. You just have so many options. You have so many options, and then the magnitude instead of a wet dry is just really nice for sound design, especially. Saf, there are a bunch of, you know, alternatives. The thing about RC20 that I think stands out from most of the competition is the fact that they are not traditional effects. They're a new take on traditional effects. For instance, the reverb is not just a reverb, it's a reverb and a resonator combined, right? And the bit crusher isn't just a bit crusher, right? It's pitting your bits against your rate, and the wobble module is pitting your wow against your flutter, and so on. So it's just got a flavor to it, you know, and it's got a different level of movement. So yeah. But yeah, man, if you could reorder the modules and you had at the very least a simple envelope on each module, it'd be ace. And I'd use it a lot more too. Ooh, hey, nice. Will Hatton's back with a new one. If WoW and Flutter can't get along, we're screwed, right? I like that. All right, so I like this. What I'm going to do is take off the um, low end. Okay, bring this up so you can hear this a little bit better. All right, let's start getting freaky with this thing. I've got this concept developing in my mind over the past little while. I don't even know how long, few months, I guess. And it's combining different lush, like texture-rich nature field recordings and soundscapes mixed with like hints of sci-fi and industrial stuff. And I've got just a ton of stuff that I've created over the years to use in this, and it's fun to mix them together after all this time. Let's get another one in there. This one is actually better than this other one. I'm just going to get rid of that one. Or maybe I'll just... Oh, Omni. There we go. There we go. Yeah, let's get in here and get these things looped up. And just revisit the ADSR on this one. All right, let's get the other one set up. Okay, we're going to space this one out just a little bit here. We're going to put a chorus on. And just the default's fine for now. And then let's put a convolution on here, and inside of the convolution, let's see here. Okay, and then at the very end of this, we're just going to have to put on a little EQ. Actually, let's bring this little bump around 1K and bring it over to 5. And just bring it down a bit. Leave a little bit more room for our forest. Create a little bit more separation between high and low. Let's layer back in our... Oh, and we should loop this really quick. Wave editor. And snap to zero crossing. And I'm fine with just running the gambit on this one. Yeah, you know what, Tiki, it has gotten an update. I continue to use 5 because I don't actually have the full 6 yet. I've been holding off on the complete upgrade until the next sale comes around. I'd like to get the next iteration. But I'm definitely keen on jumping into it as soon as I can because I want to take the new UI builder for a spin and see how much easier it's going to be to spin out new kontakt instruments for folks. Yeah, 6 is improved in a number of ways actually, and there's a lot more capabilities under the hood. So it's very much more a modern thing, and I think that over the next few years we're probably going to start to see people really wrap their minds around all the different components that have been added. And I think we're going to see stuff that's a bit more, or feel a bit more like synthesis at times. So I'm stoked for it, honestly. I just haven't made the switch. Okay, was that the... Yeah, that was the loop. So what we're going to have to do then is... Let's swap that one out. We're going to go to the mapping editor. We're going to take... and we're going to drop this other one on it. This is mysterious. Yes. Let's just give it the whole range and see what it does. Okay, let's get into our wave editor here. And we'll set up a loop that runs. Let's go snap 0. Let's go from maybe somewhere in here. We'll find a spot that mostly matches up here. What's going on there? That's fairly seamless for not having spent any time on it. It's going to need one more element. Yeah, Tiki, I don't always do it every year. It depends on how much like new work I'm actively doing with native. But typically speaking, in any given cycle, I will go every other. There was a run there for about 5 or 6 years where I was having to update every single year, but I'll go every other and really not feel like I'm missing out on too much of anything. I'll get 2 years worth of new instruments and effects each time. It's normally, I think it's what is it? Is it normally a $300 upgrade and the 50% off sale makes it $150? Or maybe it's like 400, so the update is 200, something like that. And that's usually how I roll with it. Sad, what up, dude? How are you? How are you? Happy day. Happy day. And subvids. Welcome, dude. Aftershock says, all right, you jerk. I made a few changes to submit the song later. Let me know when we do feedback. We can do it whenever, dude. Okay, so in addition to this, we're going to add one more thing. And let's do something a bit more experimental in here. Something like this, I think. We'll just bring it in here. We've got to filter this. Where is that? That's this one. Let's jump into the back of this really quick. We'll do a couple things. First, snap to 0. We'll just set up a little loop that looks like it'll make sense. Something like this. Omni. Here, let me just go up high so it plays through quicker. Okay, so that's pretty darn smooth. Next, what we'll do is we'll filter this bad boy. Let's do a band. Super wide. Yeah, something like that. I'll just kind of crush this a bit. Okay, and now let's just delay that a bit. All right, and lastly, we'll put this into a bit of space. Not quite as big as the other one. Okay, let's see what that sounds like layered in. Let's just bring this down in volume. Yeah, I'm feeling the vibe of this one here. Let's add just a little bit of noise and distortion to this from our RC20 that we're playing with today. Okay, what's going on there? Let's see here. Rainforest. Wave. Sample 2 on. Until end. Why is it not going? Alright, let's get back up to our mapping editor here. Probably just asking it to do a bit too much. What the hell? Why is it chopping itself off? I do not understand. Okay, so that's fixed. Cat's cradle sounds good. We'll just make sure that all of these are set properly. And they are. All right. Let's put a little EQ on. Maybe just. Yeah, I think I like it better warmer like that. Yeah, I think retro color adds something really nice to this. Without. And with. Subvids, yeah. I'll do you one better. I will show you how to create your own random round robin effect right now. This is playing a chord. It's a fantastic trick here. If you get all of your EQs and filters set just right, and you stick in a traditional sample playback mode inside of something like Kontakt, where the pitch and the tempo are both altered when you're playing various keys. If everything is you know, given its own proper space, when you're playing chords, you can come up with a kind of a three-dimensional version of what felt a bit more two-dimensional, playing just a single note. Sometimes it'll be a little too busy. And sometimes you'll stumble upon something that's just really, really nice. And this trick can be used when you're trying to set a certain kind of mood, you know, almost subliminally, right? Like in such a subtle way that you can introduce tension or release it just by simply adding or removing like a single black key, for instance. Right? You go brighter in that same range now. This is the kind of stuff that makes me more excited about Kontakt 6 with the new GUI builder, the new interface builder. It'll just streamline everything. Where can you just drag and drop samples and wallpapers? Well, first off, let's just kind of walk through the concept being explored here. For those that don't know, a round robin is simply when you press a single key a bunch of times, it's grabbing different samples, or it's altering the playback of the sample such that it appears to be different samples being played back. So that's what that is. And now, how do we achieve it? It's actually quite simple inside a Kontakt. Let's just grab a single drum, for instance. A super simple one. Let's use this one. All right, so we're going to put we're going to put an instance of Kontakt in here. This will work in any version of Kontakt. Got a basic snare here that we're dropping in. There's a couple things you can do to affect how this is actually played back. Waffles, welcome. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Someone was just inquiring about how to set up a round robin all proper inside of Kontakt, so I'm going to show that really quick. To drop samples in, like I was just saying, you just drop a single sample right here in the middle of the rack and it'll populate a new instrument for you. If you want to drop in specific samples on specific keys, you can do that right here. We could delete this and I can show you that. If we drop up here, just in the general area, depending upon if you drop high or low will be the range of mapping. Drop it all the way up at the top. It'll fill up the entire spectrum. You can drop it on a single key right down here. It's up to you, obviously, how you're going to do this. You can also change the root key by just simply clicking on the actual key and dragging it up or down. It changes the root. Velocity mapping is vertical. Pitch mapping is horizontal. Okay, so let's just say that we're going to have this one sound in a kit that's only going to be on, you know, maybe we'll just put it across like 3 keys, just so people have some options here, right? Like tonal. Okay, so we've got these 3 keys for people to choose from. Okay, and now to set up the round robin, and this is kind of the poor man's red robin. Like you're trying to create some kind of multi-sampled instrument or something like that. Add a little bit of you know, difference to each drum hit, but you only have 1 sample to work with, right? Instead of dropping in 12 unique samples, you could just go like this. It's going to be setting up a combination of probably 3 different modulators to accomplish this and make it seem really tight. So what we're going to do is right click on the volume and then go to external sources and then come down to random bipolar. And this is just going to allow for modulation in 2 different directions. This is going to be a random as a controller. Okay, so it's basically just using velocity to, or I mean a CC number to trigger a random value within a certain range. This slider right here, this one that says random bipolar, which is targeting the volume, you're just going to set your range, and at first it's going to be default at 100%. You do not want that, right? That's going to cut out the volume completely and boost the volume completely. What you really want is maybe just like a 5 to 10%, somewhere in there. So we'll stick it here. And it sounds a little bit different here and there, and that's all we need. We want it to be super subtle. The next one, pan. Random bipolar. Again, random bipolar, pan, bring this way down. You do not want this thing jumping all over the place. But think about a drummer. How often is the hand hitting in the exact same spot? How often is the arm, you know, obscuring the reflection to the microphone? All that kind of stuff, right? Now, tune, same thing. External source, random bipolar, pitch, make sure it's the right one. By default, it's 2 steps, which is too much. Go ahead and take it down to like a quarter, maybe a half if you want it to be kind of extreme. Now, with something like a snare, it may not be as noticeable. An electronic style snare will be a little bit more noticeable. These small differences, a cymbal, the same kind of a thing. If you're just wanting your keys to have a little bit of flair to them, you can also add this same kind of randomization kind of what's the right word here? A little bit of a brain fart. Regardless, you can add this type of a modulation to something like a chorus or something like that, or even a delay on certain parameters, so you're not always getting the exact same output from one to another. Yeah, motion. Thank you, Paul. It's been a week. Yeah, dude, right there, Mick Fleetwood. There are others. There are other parameters that you can play with as well, obviously, but these are kind of like your holy trinity for natural kind of round robin effects, right? Because these are the things that we most normally vary when we're playing as humans. So Yes. Okay, so here's the next question is, does that work if there's a multi-samples, if there are multi-samples in the zone as well? And the answer is yes. And the way that you do that is you come up here to the group editor. You can edit all groups. You can put your sounds into a specific group and affect just that group. You can edit all of the groups together. But what you do is you kind of manage these things through groups and zones. So um, if there is, let me just bring this down and show you that zones are separate from each other unless they are grouped. Okay, so let's grab another sample here. All right, so this one's obviously very different. Now we're going to put this one right next to that, but we'll put them on the same keys. So now these two drums both of these drums are here in the same group, and they're both being triggered by the same key, and they can both have the same processes put on them. And yeah, you can even make them crossfaded, sure. And you can also overlap them, right? So there's this range of velocity where you get kind of a blend, right, as you're speaking to. And I do believe that in Kontakt 6, the capability to blur those lines even more and make them more kind of organically combined has been improved. They've got a couple of new DSP goodies in there. Smooth, regular, LFO, irregular, Brownian, sequence voltage modulators. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Agreed, Paul. Find some kind of synergy between them. Now, if you're not editing groups at the same time, or if you have these in separate groups, just to really quickly run through that, you've got this one and this one. They're both in the same group right now. If we were to right click on these, we start to get these options presented to us, like move zones to a new empty group, move to an existing group, move each zone to its own group, like starting fresh with a new group, or clone and move. You have options of exactly how you want to manage each one of the sounds. And Kontakt doesn't put a limit here. So if you wanted 128 discrete samples in a velocity zone, then you could do that. And then as someone is playing, it seems like it's a randomized collection of sounds. I've done this in stuff that we've put out, like as Sound Freaks, where you've got like a sample selector knob, right? And you're just kind of going through and setting specific parameters across zones. But anyway, you can find some really unique ways to squeeze in more sounds together or layered, and keep it all within just a single rack. See, so here's an example of adding a bright accent, but only when you're going above a certain point in velocity. And yeah, you can set it up to where you've got split keys. You could split it up by velocity and keys. you've got options. You've got options. You can even layer in very subtle sounds um, at low frequencies and low levels just to bolster a certain very specific element. It's all just about managing each sample. You can do pretty much whatever you want with Kontakt, especially in the newest version. But um, 5, I mean, just think about all the crazy things that you've played with over the years inside of Kontakt that are made by these brilliant minds, right? And all of those same exact things are available to you on the back end. So it's just a matter of kind of understanding the power that comes with isolating or grouping samples together or independently from one another. And then just having fun, right? And setting up some macros. Yeah, exactly. There are so many different things that you can do to create um, just fun funkiness. Let's set up another kontakt. I'll open up one of my instruments in there. So let's see here. Where do I need to go? I need to go to um, .404. Okay, so here's an instrument that we made for the 404 drums deconstructed library, which is a fantastic thing. If you've not picked this up or played with it, you're missing out. There are crazy sounds in here. We've got these mapped out to the white keys in these kits. And then you can, in each layer, we've got a kick layer, snare, hi-hat cymbals, noise, toms and perks, sucks and reverses, clicks and clips, blips and chips, and FX and other. So these are your like 8 main categories, and now you can select a different kick by turning a knob. Pick a snare. And pick a hi-hat, cymbal, or noise. Let's grab a tom or perk. So here we've got a suck or a reverse. All right, so this is a click or a clip. Let's do a blip or chip. All right, and an FX or other. If you were to look at this and see exactly what's going on here, though, here's the mapping editor, and you've got all of these samples laid in here. But what you don't see is in the group editor is that there are actually a whole bunch of different samples loaded in each group, right? And then the knobs on the interface are cycling you through the different samples in the different groups. And it's just a different approach to what you've seen in other interfaces with, like sliders or buttons or whatever. But it's more just about how you're thinking about managing the individual sounds as either standalone or group participants. Well, no, it's not quite wavetable synthesis, because wavetable synthesis will take a largely a single cycle waveform or a collection of them and then allow you to play through them in some way, modulate through them in some way. You can have a static position, which is a sample select, yes, but you don't have the ability to, so to speak, oscillate through them in this. Now, in Kontakt 6, I do believe that there is a greater capability for playback manipulation to make these things seem as though they can be like wavetables. But it's all still sample driven, right? There are still samples from synths and drums and vocals and or vocalists and whatnot inside of Kontakt instruments running these things. So they're not truly being synthesized. It's just a playback, which I get that that's what a wavetable synth does. It's just that it's slightly different in how we're getting it, right? You're either playing as a one shot through a gate or as a loop with a sample. And with synthesis, you quite literally have the ability to scan through different waveforms on the single cycle waveform level. So you can move through varying depths of a wavetable. You can, in real time, warp or manipulate the playback of that or incorporate other signals into it through frequency modulation or ring modulation or amplitude modulation or what have you. So it's just it's a fluid yeah, waves is waves. That is true. Spiders and buttons? That is a great idea. And you can even run games inside of Kontakt because there is, a live coding environment on the back end which allows for this stuff to happen. There is a language here, and you can actually play video games in here. Oh, waffles, that's great. That's fantastic. I love hearing that stuff. Paul, it sounds like you have a really good idea for a Kontakt instrument too. Aftershock can make the one where they get smashed, and you can make the one where they conjure magic of some sort. And then we'll sample them both. Oh, nice, Waffles. I will definitely check that out. And it looks like Aftershock just dropped a link as well. Once and only once, says Paul. Well, we're probably going to be getting into a fair bit of Kontakt instrument building over the course of this year, especially once we start doing the little breakout workshops on the website. And they'll start out really low level. It's fun to make like a little tongue drum instrument, or one of my favorites is just running through how to make simple instruments using just sounds from around your house, because everybody can do it. Like, everyone's got a phone that they can record on nowadays, so there's really no barrier to entry, and you can do a lot. No worries, Waffle. I enjoy reading. You have a script from Dave Howlett's that does random non-sequential round robins. Would your method work with this effect, making more samples? Yeah, Yeah, that's exactly. It's a hack. It's just giving you slight variations in pitch, amplitude, pan position, that type of thing. We could take a sound that's a lot more um, like noticeable. Mild Child, thank you for the follow. And James Joshua Otto, I know you're not here right now, but thank you for the follow as well. I saw that. So back into Kontakt. Let's just take a like a pluck or something. Let's just grab something from one of my packs here. Maybe we'll just do like a little modular bit, because this is a really good way to start spinning out more core sounds. I talk about that a lot, is you build up a core sound library. These are your dry samples that you've taken out of synths, real world instruments, spoken word dialogue, whatever kind of raw sample, and you're constantly building on that. But it's fun to spin out variations of those that can appear themselves to be dry and original. Maybe we'll just take this first one just to kind of show how simple this is. So we've dropped a bell in here. And now what we're going to do is we'll just get in. It's nice and tight already. Very nice. And now we're just going to external source, random bipolar, bring down the amount. You can hear it working its magic. Okay, so there's that. Random bipolar again on the volume. I'll set it at like 15% this time. And pan, let's go a little more extreme on this one. Let's leave this at 100%. All right, so now we've got a nice wide sound. And it's going to sound so much more realistic. You're going to get little things that aren't perfect, and that leads to a lot of really great stuff, especially if you're triggering this stuff with like polyrhythm MIDI clips and stuff, right? Just to add even more funk to it. In fact, we can do that. Well, I don't want to get completely sidetracked here, but let's just put a delay that is unsynced. And then on your wet, oh, we can't do that on here anymore. That's right. We used to be able to, I don't know how many of you have been playing with Kontakt for a while and remember this, but do you remember the side panel where you could quite literally just drag the effect knob or whatever and drop it right on to something? Oh, it was great. So this is just very much like a random. Maybe take down the pan randomization and instead up the randomization of volume. Anyway, it's fun. Take your randomization of pitch way up. I will often use that trick just to get quick little like computery type things done instead of trying to make it appear more random inside of a synth. because it's easier to move your fingers randomly. Anyway, you guys get the idea, I'm sure. Mild Child, hello. How you doing? All right, let's jump into that first feedback. Aftershock's been waiting patiently. I like that attitude, Paul. You're interested in acoustic kontakt libraries, loads of percussion, and want to contact them all. You absolutely should. You absolutely should. You guys are ripping on ELO. Oh, man. What is it? What is it, Aftershock? Just go ahead and say it. Oh, good, Subvids. I'm glad that I answered it. That's great. You feel like that sound could be... Oh, geez. What is this? What is this? Is this just a... Oh, okay.
Free, free, free.
That's right. TurboTax Free Edition is free. Free, 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 free.
It does have a similar kind of thing. Where is my chat? There it is. All right, so Aftershock. This one is a download. Got it. This is from Aftershock. Man, this is like straight up 90s radio play right here. This is great stuff. Takes me back a bit. See what people are popping off with in the chat really quick, so I'm not spitting out stuff that's too redundant for you. Oh, Waffles, I'm seeing your comments about the fun typing patch with some aftertouch too. That's nice. Yeah, I think people are digging it. I dig it. Here's my feedback. First, and I mentioned this down here, but I would go back. I would gain stage the entire thing and make sure that every single track in this project has a fair bit of headroom. I would agree with that comment that Subvids just threw up, that it seemed to get better as it went along. It was really rocking. It really felt 90s. Anyway, go back and gain stage the entire thing, and then be rather critical in your EQing, because your kick is getting buried. Your vocals are a bit buried. They could be really upfront and really clear, and you're not that far away from it. It's just a matter of EQing and volume balance for the most part. So here's what I would do. The very first thing I picked up on was the pad was a bit hot, but actually everything is actually a bit hot. So duck the bass through sidechain compression. Use the kick as the trigger just to create a very small amount of space. It doesn't have to be massive, maybe 5 dB and super, super quick response. Your vocals need, just in general, a small boost in the mid to mid-high range to help it cut through and stand on top, but they also need to be centered. They don't feel centered. And if that's a byproduct of reverb, then make sure that all of the reverbs in this project are only parallel, that every single one of them is a parallel process. Nothing should be in series here directly on the track. And then EQ the reverb on that auxiliary track to make sure that you're only letting through a band that is touching the main body of the sound, and none of the really big supporting low end or piercing high end on any of that, and your whole mix will come into focus. They're spread 25% right now. Yeah, there are other ways to make your vocals spread in the mix, and this EQ on a parallel track will do that for you if that's what you want. You can get that spread effect easily. You can also go so far as adding a chorus or something to get a real kind of moving spread effect, but also as a parallel, or a phaser or something like that, but also as a parallel, so you can mix it in, so you can manage the EQ, and so the original integrity of the performance is still cutting through and is kind of taking priority over any other additional processes. Cut more lows in the guitar and the keys. It'll make more room for your vocals and your bass. And that in turn will make your drums sound more powerful. Everything will start to gel a bit more. And I should have said this earlier in my feedback, but it's just a killer vibe, and the guitar is super spot on. Right around 210, you can really just tell just how much. It's big. Like, this is like Queensryche big. So I would go through and I would be rather meticulous about the volume balance of every single element. And once you have your baseline volume balance, right, your basic mix, make sure you go in and take your time with automation and duck down those pads and duck down the bass when that guitar solo is happening, right? You can even go so far as to move things over in the stereo field as well. Think about this. Think about when you're at a live show and what's actually occurring on stage when the lead guitarist steps up and they're about to solo. The other guys actually physically like move, right? It's not affecting the stereo mix or anything, but it's them. It's them pulling back and giving this priority to the lead, which is the dominant position, right? In that moment. So take some time and really just think about like how to organically position these things, right? How to get the drums bigger. You can easily get the drums bigger with something like what we were just looking at earlier, like the retro color. And it's really just a matter of which process is occurring at what point in the signal chain and which frequencies are you targeting. So here, we'll do a quick example. We'll do drums and we'll just say what, like rock here. Can we just choose rock? Oh, all the way up at the top. There's only one. There's only one. I don't buy that. Let's take off beats and choose just, they're just drums here. All drums. There we go. And rock blues. Cool. All right, this has got everything. So we'll just loop this. Call it like a 4-bar. And I'm just going to toss something very simple like a retro color on here just to show you what kind of processes could help with this. The very first thing though to do before you do anything is to put an EQ on there and make sure that you're paying attention to what kind of cut and if it's a resonant peak or not. You've got this peak right here around 60. We don't need sub bass from your kick. We need your kick to be present. So what we're going to do is you can use kind of a gentle roll off like a 12 or 24 dB per octave cut here. Again, you're not worrying about sub bass. You're worrying about accenting that kick. All right, so that just makes everything a little bit tighter, right? Because you're accenting and attenuating where you can, right? Accentuate your valleys by attenuating them. It will create more separation between your kick and your snare. You're going to reduce your mids, which is going to make more room for your vocals and your keys and everything like that. Waffles, yeah, dude, we are here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific. All subscribers get free sound packs and stuff, so go ahead and take advantage of it. In fact, I still haven't even removed the holiday stuff, you guys. So if you haven't grabbed that, you've got multiple free sound packs waiting for you over on the Discord. Hit the sub button and go grab them. Hundreds of new sounds for you. Okay, so audibly, this has not changed much. It's slightly tighter in a couple of places. The kick is just slightly more boomy. But the signal has been cleaned up, and that is what really starts to become a lot more important later on down the road. So let's take something like this. Let's just initialize this so we're not adding a whole bunch of noise and stuff to it. And let's just take a look at how we can do this through distortion. All right, so here's a crunch. What we can do is add just a bit. We've already kind of beefed up the kick. I don't know that we really need to do that more. But what we can do is accentuate the hi-hat and the top of the kick around 4K, and we can accentuate the snare down low. And then we can dial in the mix, add a little flux or something that adds a little flavor. We'll worry about clipping here in a bit. And then again, you know, think about what might help these things stand out. Like maybe some reverb. Maybe it doesn't even have to be a stereo reverb. And maybe we're only going to add it to the kick and the snare, right? Instead of the hi-hats. All right, so a quick little A-B here. Let's just bring this down so it's not clipping here. All right, so before the EQ and the saturation. And after. Marcus Smokin, welcome, and thanks for swinging by. So I hope that this feedback helps, man, and I hope that that answered the question of like, hey, how can you make drums more punchy and something like that? You can also, you know, if you don't have a fancier plugin like that, just stay simple, right? The very first thing that you can do is add overdrive. The very last thing you should do is think about if you want compression or something, right? You can get stuff so hot and so poppin' without compression. And if you can just kind of remember that, keep that your mantra. And just remembering that what purpose is each sound actually serving in your mix. The kick drum is not there to provide sub bass in heavy metal. So if those frequencies are there, get rid of them. And it's going to help. It's going to help whatever does have sub come through there, right? It's going to provide all of that energy that was being spent on reproducing those low frequencies. It's going to allow those same bits of electricity to better represent the higher frequencies and whatnot too. So, Marcus Smoking, if you're looking for some feedback, just drop a link in the chat. Oh, okay. And if you already sent it to email, then I will grab it. And there's another one ahead of you. Mild Child, you still here? And are you ready? You just holler if you are. I'm going to get caught up on the chat here. check the old inbox. Got a couple here. Roaches. All right, let's see here. And Waffles, there's you. Wow, cool. Okay, yeah, you were right, Waffles. This is a very big email. I will take my time getting through this, and not make everyone wait. I did also just see another track come through. Marquise Roaches. Subvids, excellent. Glad you're learning some stuff. Always happy to share this, man. Marcus, is your track... Yes, yes, yes. The Roaches, I'm assuming. Cool. And I have not heard... from Mild Child yet. So we'll circle back and we'll hit Mild Child next. Let's listen to this track.
Gang, 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 gang.
My team is winners.
Lately I've been getting hella drunk and trying to fuck. Lately I've been getting hella drunk and trying to fuck. Lately I've been getting hella drunk and trying to fuck. Lately I've been getting hella drunk and trying to fuck. Hey, lately I've been getting hella drunk and trying to fuck. But I seen the bitch's room and let me tell you it's a dub. She got dishes on the bed with them roaches. She got stains on her sheet, she ain't noticed. Hey, lately I've been getting hella drunk and trying to fuck. Cause the ass so crazy, the mess won't faze me. Badass bitch, throw it down, Tom Brady. But she need to clean her room cause the smell gon' case me. Lately I've been getting hella drunk and trying to smash. So I take her to the crib and she smoking on my gas. Where the fuck my money so she pay me with the ass. So I hit her all night, make the pussy do the splash. Lately I've been trying to smoke some weed and we can crash. But the breath so bad it burn the hair right off my ass. And I'm dipping, drunk as fuck I'm sipping with a glass. So I raise it in the air cause she bringing up the past. All I get is money, never worry about the cash. So I fucked her in a room, yeah you know that pussy trash. And I'm gone right in a flash, bitches make me do the dash. And I'm on a speed chase and we know I'm gon' crash. Bitch I'm about to crash, bitch I'm about to crash. 40 on me tucked in, the 40 up my ass. Bitch what the fuck, just shut the fuck up. All I need is Glocks, bitch shut the fuck up. All I need is money, you can shut the fuck up. You a dirty ass bitch and you just need to grow up. Now I need the cash with the hoes, money. Bitch you need to know how it goes. Funny, lately I've been getting hell.
All right, so as far as your mix goes, it's pretty solid. The first vocal sample that you have in there is hot by a few dB. Bring it down like 4 or 5 dB and it'll probably be good. You should probably cut or attenuate the mids just a little bit in that sub. It seems like it's just barely touching some of the other sounds in there, and it's causing just a little bit of muddiness. And your kick needs definition. So either I mean, you can't really cut down on the sub because the sub is so essential. So what I would do is I would use a transient master or an envelope or something that you can artificially inflate the transient peak of on that kick, and then add either through a secondary layer from another sample or synth or something, or through some additive resampling. Just add something up around 4K or so to help it come through, some kind of a click, just to help people's brains like grab onto the fact that there is a kick in there too. Benny, what's up, dude? How you doing today, man? How you doing? This song is going to be a TikTok anthem. Yeah, right? It's got that. It's got that. Oh, man. That's all I really got for you on that one. Because as far as your sound and your mix, you're pretty golden across the board. I would definitely treat that kick just a little bit. If you're unsure how to do that, here, I'll give you a quick little example. We'll just grab something super plain here. All right, so here's one that needs a little bit of love. It's got a tiny little click in there. This is pretty dry. All right, so first and foremost, if it isn't mono, make sure that yours is mono before doing all this. Transient master, keep it in mono. You're just going to up the attack, and then I would take down the sustain just barely, and it's going to create a greater difference between your peak and your valley in the waveform. I'm going to take this off and put it back on. It just hits harder. It kind of smacks, right? The second thing that you can do is put something very transparent like an overdrive on it. You really don't need heat coming from the drive, but you do need to find a good target zone for a kick like yours, maybe around 4K. There's no drive being added. I'll turn this off. Turn it back on. Actually, that softens it a bit too much, maybe higher. There you go. So you put those two things together. That's before. That's after. And then you just want to EQ it. And I would personally use something like a linear phase and not a channel EQ for the final EQ. You have such a huge sub that you absolutely want to cut out the sub frequencies from your kick. That could be what's causing the masking. I can't see your EQ, so I don't know for sure. But listen to how tight that is versus this. Right? All those sub frequencies would be fine on their own if there was no other sub in the mix. But if there is, like there obviously is in yours, and you just want to clean it up first. If you do those things, your kick will be thumping. Oh, I know. It slaps. Thanks for keeping me honest, Aftershock. Anybody else waiting for feedback right now that I've missed? If not, I'm going to make a little more new stuff. If I start using the word slaps, I will have more followers. Is that what you're saying? Where were we with all of this? This was the bell. Snare. We went for a minute, didn't we? So this is the one that I was actually working on. There we go. Let's get back into this. So again, looking to kind of chase down this idea. Why isn't the rainforest playing? There we go. Of mixing nature and kind of industrial or sci-fi elements here and there. Yeah, these sound all right. It's tempting to not go with the convolution inside of kontakt and actually use a drone IR. Okay, seriously, what the hell is going on with the rainforest layer here? It's starting to become upsetting. What the hell did I put in here? I've got a filter, and that's it. Then screw it. I'm bringing it in again. No. All right, so it's this one. Set this to Omni. Get in on the back end here. Filter. Let's just roll this down to like 300 or so. And then put the attack back up. Put a slight hold on this. Dip down a couple dB. And release. All right, now let's get the loop set up. All right, so I was cooking right around in, oh, I need a snap. Right around in here. Ish. All right, let's see what this sounds like. Aftershock. Where are the horns? Nope, no Hans Zimmer VST here. Ooh, yeah, right here. What is this? 1, 2, 3. Spread of 4 octaves here. Yeah, I'm already feeling a couple of other future releases after this next big one. Right, so what are we rocking here? 90 BPM? It's a tasty one. Let's do another one of those. I need to get rid of all these. And we don't even need these. You're feeling uncomfy, Aftershock. Sitting in a weird alien forest makes you uncomfortable? What's up with that? Racist against alien planets that might be dangerous? All right, so we're going to take some balloons. Maybe some of this. Let's find some more nice little forest kind of ambience. Let's do... All right, let's use this one. It's always fun just to start off with random mix and see what happens. Yeah, balloons will always have a special place in my heart for sound design. They're never ending. They have so much potential. Oh, before I make this one, I'm going to go grab some more coffee, hit the bathroom, and I'll be right back. I'll leave you guys with a little tune. Go grab some coffee or something. We'll be here for a little bit longer. I've got sessions today, but not for a tiny bit. I'll be right back. There I am. Here I am. There I be. Let's do a cat's cradle on this one. Now let's just make this a bit more futuristic. I'll add a little chorus to this. All right, let's loop from Nate. How the heck are you, brother? All right, this is good because it's not even going to hit the loop for quite some time. And I think I'm going to have this start up after those initial chirps there. Nice, Nate. Man, when is it that I get to see you? Is it next week? Yeah, it's next week. Looking forward to it, homie. Yeah, I hope you have lots of notes. Oh, thank you, Subvids. Yeah, Nova's fun. Classic, like, bass swell, but reimagined 50 times over. All right, let's unsolo this. Okay, now which part shall we reverberate? We could surprise people and put the atmosphere coming from this chirp things layer and see what that sounds like. That would mess with folks. Let's try that. All right, let's unsolo that. Dude, Nate, thanks for swinging by really quick, man. Good to see you. Enjoy the work day. Hopefully it treats you well. Really looking forward to seeing you, man. Oh, those balloons. Those balloons sound so good in there. That's a fun little alternate take on this one. Super pitchy. Saf, you should check out his channel. He's got some good stuff going on there. Does some fun late night streams too. All right, so what is this one? Some sort of weird digi homeworld thing. And this other one, obviously some kind of like sci-fi rainforest. All right, let's get another kind of three-dimensional one built really quick. Is anybody else out there waiting for feedback right now and I'm just ignoring you? If so, just holler at me. Just yell really loud right here, my left ear. Hey Waffles, I've just clicked through to the pick-pack directory, and man, this is you've got 11 versions of this thing. Are you wanting me to play with this thing on stream, or are you just wanting me to check out what you're up to? Ooh. Wow. So, let's see here. Download. We'll see what Google does. It's zipping up now. That can take some time sometimes. Yeah, on stream. Cool. Oh, you're yelling in my ear. Cool. Yeah, internet's good here. So, So you guys, Waffles has sent me Waffles Pick Pack. A Waffles Pick Pack looks like an enormous undertaking. There have been 11 versions. He's got a changelog here since version 6. I'm just kind of scanning through these. And so then what you've done, if I understand correctly, is you've gone through and made playable instruments from a lot of these. And the whole thing is running, what, EXS24? Or sampler, yeah, I guess it's just called sampler now. Let's see where we are with the download here. Still doing its thing. Let's see here. Let me just get a Finder window open here. I'll drop these in as soon as it's done doing its thing. So music, audio apps, and then sampler instruments. Let's get a quick look and see where that download is. Still zipping. Cool. Yeah, I'm always so stoked to see what people are doing with the samples that they're picking up. Seeing how I've cranked out so many over the years, I'm always just keen to know what are the things that people really still gravitate to, and over a long period of time too. This is brilliant insight. How long have you been building this? Yeah, dude, Waffles, I would agree with that Google takes its own sweet freaking time zipping and downloading. Yeah, how long have you been working on this this project here? 2 years. Cool. Cool. Yeah, that's quite the endeavor. Quite the undertaking. Still zipping. I've got a little bit of time. And there's a MP3 here. Quick needle drop. That's quite the broad spectrum of sounds too. Holy heck. That's great. So, ooh, the Kurzweil 2500. Yeah, it helps to be compiling stuff over a long period of time. I have this big collection of old CD libraries still too. That I need to, at some point, I need to get a new disk drive. And I kind of burned through the last one, but I need to catalog all of those in digital because there's stuff that was like fairly iconic for a really long time, especially in the broadcast and film world, that you just don't see anywhere anymore. You can't find it anywhere. But I've got them all on disc. Oh, these are from oh gosh. A lot of Akai libraries for this pack, stuff like Gigapack and East West. Yeah, exactly. It's that kind of stuff. And stuff that predates that even, you know, old school. This is like, let's say this is close to first run, first issue compact discs after leaving the world of mail order tapes behind. So this is going back a ways. This is going back a ways. But I mean, there's some golden stuff in there that I haven't heard in years. I just need to get a new disk drive so I can actually bring all this stuff in and toss it into an archive to keep forever. What is Google doing? Come on, Google. Can't download file. To download this file, try enabling third-party cookies for Drive. Wait, what? What do third-party cookies have to do with downloading something off of Google Drive? Bastards. Try enabling third-party cookies for Drive, huh? Third-party cookies, data personalization. I've never seen them ask for this before. Must be something new, huh? Cookies, security. Man, I do not see this option anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, man, you can fire it to me a different way. That's totally fine. And I'm happy to check it out. And we can do it in stream, although we're running out of time today. I've got some sessions to step into here shortly, but I'm happy to run through this with you. And this Friday, speaking of streams, we're going to have a special stream on Friday. We're going to have Imaginate in the house. He's going to be talking through his latest big release, which is just yet another smash hit. It's going to be his birthday on Friday. We have to think of something to do for him, huh? Oh, awesome, Waffles. That's great. So yeah, make sure that you're here on Friday and tell your friends. We'll have a little party. We'll have a little surprise party for them. Fantastic human and incredibly talented producer. He's just been absolutely crushing it with his Elements series of sample libraries. It's just been absolutely crushing. We got to see which ones? We got to see glass. No, we got to see water and paper. I think the last time he was in on stream. So we'll have him back again on Friday, and we'll be taking a look at Ver, which is his new release that's entirely glass based. It's all like a broken glass stuff. Very cool. What else do we have planned for the next couple of streams? We're going to be taking a look at XO from XLN, which, if you're unfamiliar, it's a new way of kind of organizing and managing your drum samples. Half management tool, half discovery tool, or rediscovery tool, I guess, of your own sounds. So I'm actually pretty stoked to check that out. We've got a couple of developers coming in to show off new plugins. Got some good stuff cooking up here for the beginning of the year. And I'm also cooking up a couple of challenges for you guys. See what you can do when you get your hands on some shared sounds. And we're going to make it fun too. We're going to get some other folks involved. I'm looking forward to that. Let's see here. Yeah, I do not see where I can add interesting. Interesting. Google. Oh, now look at that. Well, Waffles, it is now starting to download. Just the pick pack zip, the other stuff wouldn't. I'm also interested to hear from all of you in regards to what kind of releases you're hoping to see this year. There's going to be a fairly big mix. My production time will be fairly mixed this year between large libraries for third parties and the smaller curated packs that you normally find on the OhmLab site. So if you guys have requests for specific types of sound packs that you want to see come out this year, do let me know. You can just shoot me a quick email or something. We'll start running polls again in a week or two. I'm just waiting to hear back from a couple of clients on timelines for a couple of things, so I can keep track of it all responsibly. All right, I'm almost done downloading this pack here, Waffles. Paul says, I can't get enough dialogue packs. I'll tell you what, dude, I hear that. That's the truth. Okay, so Waffles Pick Pack, version 11.1. Weighs in at 2.3 gigs zipped. And away we go. Have, wow, and each one of these are some of these EXS24? Have you just added, is this just your entire thing, or are these all that you've created? Like all that you've assembled? Oh, Paul, I envy you right now. That's some of my favorite stuff right there. Just going through, cool waffles. Yeah, just going through and listening to poetry and spoken word and stuff and deciding what I want to work with. Let's flip through some of these. This is going to take some time to explore. This is freaking fantastic. You sound great. Man, this is a treasure chest. Let's get into these percussions here. Even got a water phone down there, huh? Oh, these are ace. Man, this is nice right here. I said samples on the sleigh bells. Oh, man. You're probably right, Waffles. Hey, Subvids. So this is actually something that Waffles has been compiling for over 2 years. It's a whole bunch of samples that he's been creating playable instruments out of. Paul, take care, Omi. I love you, man. Good to see you. Hope it stays sunny for you. The Arrakis Grand and the keyboards and Astral and the synth bells. Where is that one? The Aristotle. This has such a classic sound to it. Man. Yeah, there is a ton of work in here. And the other one was the Arrakis Grand. Oh, wow. No, actually, I'm not. I'm not a Wii guy. Although I will be shortly, because got a boy turning 4 next week, and I'm gonna get schooled on the latest video game offerings and everything that I've missed over the past few years. Classic. Nice. That's cool. Nice. That's awesome. Some truly classic stuff in here. That's nice. That's nice too. Man, these are great. I wish I had even more time to kind of lazily go through it. There's the ride. Oh. Oh, these are great. These are great. Yeah, this is just such a huge undertaking. Oh my goodness. Man, I would think that what kind of stuff are you producing, Waffles? Just out of curiosity. Are you making stuff for the game world by chance? It's kind of curious. It seems like a lot of this stuff would be right at home. You just like video game music a lot. Awesome. You don't produce for it? Are you more of a hobbyist, a dabbler, a collector of sounds? These are this is just such a fantastic collection of things. And so many of them feel like they would truly just be right at home in video games. Well, if you like accumulating sounds, keep coming back here because there's a lot of them floating around. There's a whole bunch of sound packs that are free to download if you sub here on the Discord. You just go, after you subscribe, you go in the left-hand sidebar, scroll down, look for the subscriber rewards room. And once you're in there, just grab everything. Some of them are community sound packs. Some are official OhmLab releases that I've just kicked down. And others are unreleased stuff, just advanced copies. I've got a ton of products backlogged right now. Probably a good 6 that are ready to go. Nice. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Well, this is all really something. Waffles, thanks for sending this one through. We'll probably be pulling this out and using it in some stuff moving forward, I would imagine. This is pretty fun. And you actually know this pretty intimately at this point, I'd imagine. So keep coming back, and when we're looking for a certain sound for something, and you know you've already got it in this thing, you give us a shout, and I'll get stuff worked in. It's kind of how we operate here. If I'm working on an upcoming release or just a new track or something like that, I will challenge people in the chat to just throw in sounds into the mix and see what happens. It's a pretty interactive experience. And if it's samples, presets, loops, whatever that we're working on, then oftentimes there will just be a community sound pack that gets spun out of it. So more treats for the subs here. That's what I say. You guys, I got to get going because I've got sessions to run into here. But I will see you on the flip. This time, Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., we will be having a special birthday guest, the one and only Imaginate. So we'll see you then. Until then, I hope you all stay well and inspired. Show up with something new to share on Friday, will you? I challenge you. Saffron, I'll see you in what, like an hour or something. Phosphor, take care. Waffles, thank you so much for joining the fun. I hope you stick around. And yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. See you later, guys. I'll leave you with something. Y'all take care.